Technical University Darmstadt, Germany, and Professor Edward Hovey from Carnegie Mellon University for giving the keynote lectures at ICON 2020. We thoroughly enjoyed the session. We would take this opportunity to thank Dr. Saujanya Puria, Assistant Professor of Computer Science at the Singapore University of Technology and Design, for giving the valuable talk on toward investigating and interpreting the role of context in utterance level dialogue understanding. We are grateful to the area chairs, workshop chairs, tutorial chairs, shared task organizers, resource and tools demonstration organizers, and all the reviewers for their valuable contribution to ICON 2020. I would also like to extend our heartfelt thanks to Professor Pushpak Bhattacharya, Dr. Asif Iqbal, and Dr. Shipanna Shaha, and the whole team of AI-NLP-ML Research Group, Computer Science and Engineering Department at IIT Patna, especially Soumitra Ghosh, Ratnesh Joshi, Tirthankar Ghoshal, Gitanjali Kumari, and Prabhat Bharti for making the organization of the conference a grand success. Last but definitely not the least, we thank all the researchers who responded to our call for papers and all the participants of ICON 2020, without whose overwhelming response, the conference would not have been a success. I would now like to request Dr. Asif Iqbal, Organizing Chair, ICON 2020, to share his thoughts with us.
Okay, so good evening to all of you, and thank you all of you once again for your participations at ICON 2020. Many thanks to NLPI for giving us an opportunity to host this conference online. Thanks to Professor Sangal, Professor Deepti, Professor Pushpak, Professor Shivaji Bandyopadhyay, Professor Sudeshna, Dr. Shobha, Swaran Lata ji, Sudeep, Amitabo, and many others who have joined here now in this particular program. Many thanks to all the area chairs, our session chairs, workshops, shared talks organizers, resources, tool contest chairs, reviewers, keynote speaker, invited speaker for helping ICON. Thanks to the authors for submitting their papers. We have tried our best to make our program diverse and interesting. However, there might have been some shortcomings, and we apologize for that. And I would like to thank to all the volunteers for their untiring efforts during the last 3 days. So tomorrow will be the workshop, and then there will be a shared task, and there is a tutorial. And due to pandemic, we had to welcome you virtually, but we'd love to host you at IIT Patna in future. So thank you very much for joining us. Okay. Thank you.
Asif.
Yes. Now I'm maybe okay, madam. I'm done. So, Apurva. Madam.
I hereby request Professor Rajiv Sangal, Conference General Chair, ICON 2020, to share his thoughts with us.
Yeah, so it's the end of the ICON 2020. Of course, this time it was in a different format. Format means medium, which was an online medium. It has worked quite well. Of course, a lot of hard work always goes behind any organization, whether virtual or in person. So I want to thank the team at NIT Patna, particularly Asif Iqbal and Professor Pushpak, who made all this possible during his tenure as director. IIT Patna, not NIT Patna, IIT Patna. Now, in this conference, of course, there were the keynote speakers we all listened to, and I think there is a good amount of learning as to what is actually happening, because sometimes hypes take over and we don't realize what is the actual work on the ground that is taking place. So I think that should also be a learning for us. Now, we held the meeting of the NLP Association yesterday, I think there are about 25 or 30 people who joined, and one of the discussion points was that we should now revive regional icons, which actually ran very well. There were three regional icons held. I think one was in the south, one was in the east, Varanasi, and the third one took place in Patiala, Punjabi University. So people felt that regional icons would be a good way to involve people who are getting into the area, who are very new, but who work on their languages of the region, and they don't necessarily always get a chance to present their paper in the main icon. So this would be, I think this will be good to revive it. And this mode of online and in-person attendance, this was also discussed, and future conferences might actually be hybrids, in which there will be a lot of in-person attendance also, but we might be more open towards some speakers who will deliver it online, because earlier we used to insist that no, you should come and deliver. So we might be a little more open to that. So in that sense, it will be a hybrid mode. Uh, there was discussion on corpora and tools and how these should be downloadable, um, and indexing of icon papers in Scopus. I'm just looking at my notes from yesterday's meeting. So these were some of the highlights. Now, the last item on the agenda, which was the most important item, was about the new constitution for NLP Association. So earlier NLP Association was based on institutional membership only, and the governing council consisted of the institutions, and in other words, representatives from institutions. So instead of that, so the new constitution was adopted, in which there will be direct election from regular membership. So regular members would vote, and the elections of the president, vice president elect, and the members of the executive council would take place. And there are also position of secretary and treasurer, which would also be, once in 3 years, or a 3-year term, I should say. So all these things were, so the new constitution will come into force, and hopefully, why hopefully, we are sure that it will be operational. In the meantime, an interim committee would be formed, because I've been president for far too long. I've been wanting to hand over, but now that there is a constitution, new constitution, we will just do it. I'm hoping in the next 2 weeks, all that work should be completed, and so that the new committee can take over and new ideas can come into this. So I will stop here, and when the time comes about announcement of next icon, that time we will, that announcement will be a separate announcement. We can do it, of course, little later, whenever in the valedictory program, when other things are over. That can be the last item.
Thank you very much, sir. I now request Professor Pushpak Bhattacharya, Program Committee Co-Chair, ICON 2020, to share his thoughts with us.
Thank you, Apurva. We have come to the end of the 17th icon, and I was co-program chair with Professor Deepti Sharma, with Professor Rajiv Sangal as the general chair, guiding us, advising us, and very ably assisted by the team led by Dr. Asif Iqbal and his students and other members. So the heart of any conference is really the program itself, and high quality presentations, high quality invited talks, keynotes actually send a very good message about a conference. It increases the reputation of the conference, sustains the reputation, and gradually it begins to attract higher and higher quality paper. This becomes a virtuous cycle. And if quality is compromised, then we fall into the vicious cycle. So very happy to note that Asif insisted on a multi-staged evaluation of the papers, selection of the papers, which led to an excellent bouquet of presentations. The keynote addresses were absolutely superb. This was also made possible because the speakers did not have to travel, and all the talks actually refer to language as an object, language as a phenomenon, okay, language as an entity to be studied, not only techniques based on data. Now, this is something which I would like to really share with you because I insist on this to my students, that these many, maybe 20-25 years of detailed work on language phenomena linguistics, they're not really useless. What happens is that when we train a neural network with data, and we are called upon to do error analysis to improve the accuracy, to see what we can do with the data, all these insight into language and linguistics begin to play their role. So for a complete researcher of natural language processing machine learning, it is important to know all this tradition and at the same time be abreast with all the developments and advancement in techniques, be it deep learning or statistical classifiers or even rule-based systems. So the set of papers in the conference actually had a lot of coverage in terms of linguistic phenomena and also showed very powerful techniques for solving NLP problems. So indeed, the program of the conference is everything. Of course, a lot of management and organizational issues are there, but the center stage is really held by the research papers, keynote speeches, invited speeches, shared tasks, demos, and so on. So I think ICON has really lived up to its reputation and standard, and we would look forward to it getting stronger and stronger and attracting larger and larger number of people. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your motivating words. I hereby invite Professor Deepti Mishra Sharma, Program Committee Co-Chair, ICON 2020, to share some parting thoughts with us.
Yeah, it always takes time to unmute. Yeah, so I had requested that I can be exempted. Fine. So I think, as Pushpak said, Dr. Sangal has been the chair of ICON and general chair, and Pushpak, in my view, was the chair of program chair of this ICON. And to be frank, this is first ICON where I did not play that much of a role, and I'm so happy that I mean, this ICON was really, really a very good ICON. The people to be thanked for Pushpak, Asif, Shriparna, because I think she has also played a critical role in the good organization that this ICON had. In yesterday's meeting, one thing came out, and I would like to talk about it because two things that I was thinking. I mean, in this ICON, what I felt very happy about was, of course, quality of papers, which are normally reviewed, and I think international participation was good, and the keynote speakers. we could get really good people to participate and give talks. It was probably possible also for many of us to be present in most of the sessions, or in some sessions remotely, because we didn't have to travel, because traveling kind of is a little longer duration commitment with many people, which many people may not be able to do. And therefore, if it is flexible for you to join remotely, then it makes things easier. So the discussion about hybrid icon yesterday in the NLP Association meeting, I think is something that we should be thinking seriously on for future icon. Physical meetings I am all for, because I think that makes a lot of difference in the discussion that happens beyond the talks, during lunch, during tea. And those are important events in a conference where a lot of academic discussion happens, and people talk to each other on small and big research problems. So that should of course happen, but some of the things can happen remotely, and that should be really seriously considered. I think that will add a different dimension to the quality of icon, I believe. Pushpak mentioned about linguistics and language being an object. Many of us are. I feel I am a student of language, and it fascinated me, and that's why I'm where I am. For linguists, it is an object fascinating object of study, very challenging. The thing is, and that is for all of us who are teaching, Pushpak mentioned that all this years of learning that we have spent trying to understand the object, language as an object, is needed even if we go for state-of-the-art machine learning methods, because it's important. It gives us insight. It tells us how to train our models. So the question I would like us as a community to think over is, how do we ensure that some basics and fundamentals of linguistics do pass on to our next generation? They do start looking at language linguistically rather than purely computationally. I think that's something that I feel we need to think about as a community, because if we think that is important for doing better computational linguistics, then we have to ensure that our students also take it from us. I think I'll stop there. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your truly inspiring words. I now request Professor Shivaji Bandyopadhyay, Director, NIT Silchar, to say a few words.
Good evening. I think Professor Sangal, so this is a different role, and so after that, after you make the announcement, so I'll be taking that role in a different order. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So let me just say a few sentences here, and later on, after the announcement from your side, so then I'll be coming back again. Might be that will be better.
Yeah.
Okay, but noise. So first of all, it is nice to be back here along with the all the team members with whom we have worked for so long years. And I believe that whenever we are looking at the positive sides of the pandemic, that is these online, these kind of virtual meeting, these are making the things more accessible for people like us. And I think the issue of the hybrid meeting in the future, that is going to be the issue, and not only in the conferences like this one, and in other meetings also. That is the new normal, whatever we call it, when we will be able to travel, say, with a free mind and without any sort of tensions in our mind. So that hybrid nature, and that will come to the icon part also. Now, just sharing of information, that is in 2017, when we had the 14th icon at Jadavpur University, Kolkata, we organized the regional icon at IIIT Manipur. So that was the fourth after the Patiala one. So till 2017, so we were able to organize regional icon. So that was obviously good. And now I think so we are going to start that process again, so that more and more trained manpower in this domain, and with the expansion into the speech domain also, along with the text domain, and I think the image also is going to take a part there. That is the multimodal nature. So regional icons at the national level, and then icon. So these are becoming important. And lastly, before stopping at this point, is that the role of linguists and the linguistics as a topic in the deep learning era. So while during the inauguration, so I raised that issue also, because to many of our students who are now working, so it seems that they basically look for technical resources as say the storage, Google Colab, the GPUs or etc. Because the whole issue becomes you have a pre-trained model, you fine-tune that with say the mixed language model, MLM, and other kinds of stuff, and then forget about linguistics basically. But as I understand, that is what was discussed during this conference also, and what my friends were talking. That is we can never put linguistics in the back, and the two domains, the computer science engineering and the linguistics, so they'll have to go together, because otherwise, and when the whole scenario is becoming more and more multimodal in nature also, so while the role of statistics or the deep neural network obviously from a computational side is taking a much larger role, but linguistics has to take the center stage again, because ultimately we work for the development of systems that involve languages that can be written, that can be spoken, and that can be graphed also. And so there lies the future. And so happy to be associated with the ICON and the NLP community since its beginning. And obviously, so, and that it is heartening for us to see that is those who worked with us, say, and with my senior colleagues at several places, several institutes across the country, they are actually now playing the key role in taking the NLP activities to the next level. So that shows that is the overall atmosphere is a very healthy one, and people are expanding not only within the country, but also across the globe as well. I thank all of you once again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. As Sangal sir was saying, he has some instructions to information to give. I'll request Sangal sir to please address the gathering.
Just a minute. I would just like to step in here for a second. We have had 5 Reg Icon. Let us not forget the Reg Icon that was held in Goa. That was the first Reg Icon. Yeah.
Oh, thank you for correcting both Shivaji and Deepthi.
Because
We had 5. So very good, very good. So we can carry on the tradition. So I think there is always a pleasant announcement at the end about where the next icon would be held. So yesterday we had deliberations on it, and I'm happy to announce that the next icon next year will be held in NIT Silchar, and under the leadership of Professor Shivaji Bandyopadhyay. So normally they would be, wild clapping on this announcement. So this is something you miss.
we can still clap.
So yes. Unmute everyone.
Yes.
So Gitanjali, unmute everyone so that again.
Yeah, I'll request Professor Shivaji to talk about NIT Silchar and what plans they have. Yeah. I also want to mention that next year there would be a regional icon. That is what is thought of. It will be held in the northeast, maybe Shillong, maybe Guwahati, and maybe Professor both Shivaji and Professor Pushpak will take the lead in deciding and organizing it. So over to you, Professor Shivaji.
Yeah. So again, very good evening to all of you. And I think I need to give you an introduction, that is where NIT Silchar and what we are doing, because it may be that all of you know me for a long time and know NIT Silchar by the association that I keep. But so I will start with a few slides about NIT Silchar, so some information sharing. After that, we have a virtual campus tour, because otherwise, in a normal icon, what would have happened? All of you would have been at a place, say IIT Patna, and then there the virtual welcome, because the campus tour is normally a practice. So we already have a campus tour presentation. So I thought that I will be sharing that with you. So I'm now sharing my screen. Initially, uh, uh, with a few slides. Yeah, so National Institute of Technology, we define it as a green-spiring campus, and through the visuals that we'll be going through, we'll see that it is a 625-acre campus, and almost 90% of that is actually kept free. That is, it is completely green. And we have 23 natural lakes. The whole area was a tea garden earlier. And recently, in the World University Sustainability Ranking, we got a place of 275 and sixth in India in terms of the sustainability. And in the New York Green School Conference, we had the opportunity to share the activities. That is how we maintain the environment and that is the sustainability issues. Along with that, the research and the development work that we do. You can see this is one glimpse of NIT Silchar, and the building and the cluster of the buildings that comes here, which welcomes you, is basically the guest house. So the next year, 2021 December, so when you will be arriving at NIT Silchar, so for many of the delegates, this will be the place where you can stay comfortably, and you can see the area that is, which are all part of the campus. And the street lights that you can see there, they are basically the solar powered street lights. We put a lot of thrust on the solar power. We have 1 megawatt solar power plant in the campus of our own, and that is basically the rooftop one. There are solar street lights also, 75 them. They are off grid, but the 1 megawatt is basically the on grid one. And because of abundance of sunlight in the northeast part of India, so the performance of this solar power plant is quite high. Almost 30% of our energy requirement is actually catered to by that. The whole area was a tea garden around 50 years ago, more than 50 years. And after that, so a tea garden generally, that is, becomes barren after the trees are uprooted basically. So this is completely a man-made one, and the tree plantation is basically one of the foremost habit that we continue doing. So next time when you will be arriving as a guest, so you will have the opportunity to plant a tree in your own name. We'll put the your nameplate also there, and so that you bring back not only the hospitality of the NIT Silchar, but also you bring back your memory. The tree will grow in the campus in your own name. This is a larger view of the campus, and you can find out the administrative building is basically at the beginning, and the different buildings with the red rooftop. So these are the different accommodations, administrative buildings, academics, etc. And you can see the lakes also. These natural lakes, they are obviously a part of a tea garden That is earlier it was, and we have a running tea garden just outside our campus also. And so whenever you come, and so you can make a visit and you can see that is how trees actually from the plucking of the leaves. So and then how the tree is finally produced in those as well. In terms of its location, it is in the northeast part of India, southern part of Assam, and in terms of so it started in 1967 as a regional engineering college. Classes started in 1977, 10 years after, and as a national institute of technology, that is, there are 31 NITs in India. Out of that, NIT Silchar is one of them, and so that was the history part. 2002. We have several international MOUs also. And then we have two special features, I should say. One is that to promote the research culture among the undergraduate students, we have an undergraduate research council, which we provide support, research support to the undergraduate student. And in the recent years, many of our research and the innovation accomplishments have been possible by the undergraduate students through the support that we provide, where that is our coordinating team. They basically define what should be the broad areas where the students will be working. So there are faculty mentors at the same time. We put a focus on the PhD students, and say we have 6 engineering departments, 3 science, one humanities, social science, and 1 MBA, around 200 faculties. But in terms of number of PhD scholars, we have more than 800 PhD scholars. So that because we want to flourish in more and more state-of-the-art areas, interdisciplinary areas, and sometimes transdisciplinary areas. Among the center of excellences that we have a center of excellence in natural language processing. So that is, I think, working quite well. And we have a center of excellences in environment science and technology, in energy science, in case of water resources as well. In terms of the recent achievements, just some bit of international rankings, because say our focus when we talk about ranking is focused to actually reassess ourselves. That is, what are our strengths, where lies our weaknesses, what are the opportunities that lie before us, and what are the challenges or the threats. So slowly we have made our entry into the Times Higher Education World University ranking. Then in the subject ranking also in the THE, both engineering and in physical sciences. And recently in the World University Sustainability Ranking, we have got our positions. And this year also in the US News Ranking, we got our place also. So the ranking positions are actually not important, but what is important that it shows us that is where we should put our trust and what should be our next set of goals. And promoting the research and the innovation is obviously one among them. In terms of national ranking, so obviously NIRF, say we are 46th in engineering, and in the overall institutional category, we are 94th there. And then the rest part of the slides I'm not going through, but these are some mass tree plantation. That is one of our signature activities basically. And whenever guests arrive, they plant a tree in their own name. Now I will be going through video tour.
Is Shivaji disconnected?
I think not. I think. Oh, is it? He was looking for a video. In the meanwhile, I think Asif. What about asking the participants for their views
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
people who are here? Yeah.
And also Sudeshna madam, Shobha madam are there. So
Exactly.
maybe
Everybody is there. No, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah.
Madam Sudeshna madam, maybe if you can say a few words at Shobha madam. Hello, Sudeshna madam is there? No. Shobha madam is there, I think.
Yes,
Yeah,
Sureshna
it
is not
is.
here, I think.
Maybe we can go to Shobha Madam, and after
Yes.
that also Mrs. Swaran Lata.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Even I was thinking. Swarnlata ji is also there,
Right.
and
And I
yeah.
see Doren and Vijay Sundar Ram in the attendee.
It was a wonderful experience to have this icon in a virtual platform. And though I missed almost all the invited talks. I'm very sorry, and I could not. I heard that it was a very wonderful one, and I really feel that this should be a hybrid system because many people could attend it because it's virtual, and good number of papers came because of that. So let's have this hybrid and look forward to ICON 2021 at Silchar. And of course, we will start the regional icon. iDravidian was there for 3 times. And in 2017, we had a very good response from the regional participants. And 2 papers from regional icon went into the main icon. So we will start doing it in 2021 as well. The main question that came during that iDravidian time is that there's no journal publications coming from iDravidian. So I think that we have to emphasize that in regional icons, we will not have journal publications. So that's one request I have for where we have to take a decision on and look forward to ICON 2021. Thank you.
I recall that it was the proceedings were also not published, and one of the reasons was that after the regional icon, since it's unpublished paper, it can be resubmitted. It can actually be submitted to journals for or other conferences as well as journals for presentation or publication. So that was the stand taken at that time.
Yes.
I think also it was that in Reg Icon, the organizers can identify, I mean, the senior researchers from that area can identify some of the papers and mentor those people for improving their work and then publishing in, anywhere after that. So I think that was the reason why, as Dr. Sangal says, it was decided not to have it
Yes,
published.
we have decided like that in
Uh,
2015 when we were starting it.
uh,
But later on, in between, the organizers, the iDravidian organizers itself had a confusion on that.
mhm.
So that I think we will go by the same policy and we will start it again.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So, good evening. Can I come in?
Yes, Dr.
Please,
Swarnlata,
please, please.
please.
Let me acknowledge that I thoroughly enjoyed attending ICON 2020. And throughout my career, I was unable to attend it because I couldn't travel. But it's so fascinating this time to listen to all the keynote speeches and so many papers and presentations. And I fully endorse the idea of linguistic work should be given emphasis in spite of the fact that we are moving towards the neural techniques, and the linguistic techniques and the linguistic work and the study of language the way we have been carrying out for so many years is very close to my heart. And I will definitely keep in touch with all these developments, and will like to contribute as much as I can. And my support will always be there for this NLP work and the NLP community. And I will stay connected. And thank you so much for involving me in this ICON 2020.
Thank you.
Kishore?
So,
Kishore?
Deshna, I don't see here. So maybe
Madam was there, but I think now is not connected.
not there. Yeah.
Kishore, are you there? Kishore?
Yes, I'm here.
So say few words, Kishore.
Okay, fine. Respected professors, especially the chair, Professor Pushpak, Dipti ma'am, Rajit sir, and my supervisor cup mentor, Shivaji sir, and almost a senior to me, Dr. Rasif, Suparna, and then there are a lot of people whom I know because we were all in the same lab under Shivaji sir, and I thank Shivaji sir to introduce me in NLP, and it was a fantastic show, or otherwise a fantastic journey for ICON, because I have been following ICON for a very long year, and hope this will continue. And by by hearing that this ICON is going to held at NIT Silchar, like it's awful. I mean, I'm very, very happy because the supervisor, all the NLPMs of India have done a great work. Especially for the NE, because we have been thinking for this for a very long time. Even I have been suggesting Shivaji sir and Pushpak sir to at least allow this ICON to be held at Nordish. And luckily we have Shivaji sir as NIT, as director in NIT Silchar, and we have a very great opportunity. Thank you once again. And I have a little suggestion. I don't know whether this is feasible or not, because like who's ever working in NLP, we have faced a lot of problems, especially for the low resource languages, or otherwise, even for the other Indian languages, I suppose. If we have to make a move forward, I think the NLP Association of India should initiate creating a database of all the open softwares or tools which we have created, so that the future NLP researchers or anyone who wants to use it can use it. So that we can move forward. Maybe we can just put it in cloud, or maybe a website dedicated with all the software and tools, especially for the Indian languages. That will be very helpful, I should say. Or otherwise, the corpus which we have collected, maybe from any part of this country, that will be very, very helpful, apart from organizing this ICON. So I would like to suggest all the senior professors to get this initiative, so that the tools or the softwares can be put up in cloud, or maybe in some downloadable form. That will be very grateful, because every year in ICON we have been publishing a lot of research papers, and even we have tools coming up. But for the researchers, it's a very difficult thing to just go to the software and tools.
I think this point has been noted. Yeah, Dr. Kishore. Yesterday also, this issue had come up. So both tools and data, they should all be made available on a single site if possible, so that easily people can download. Yes.
I missed that meeting, sir. Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
Sir. Because like you people are,
anything else? Yeah, I think this point you have made, and again, thank you. We will, I think, all work on it. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Fine. That's the only point I just want to just mention. Otherwise, very thank you. Like, for moving this ICON to, keep on, having a long journey, and I think this is a very wonderful thing. I appreciate the organizers And I have to say thank you to all the organizers, because this can be like another quantum jump for the next generation. Thank you to all.
Thank you. Anybody else who would like to say something briefly?
Maybe Vishalji is there. Vishalji, do you want to say anything?
We have to close now quickly because we are past 8 o'clock. Yeah, 7 to 8. So yeah, please, if anyone wants to speak, sure, go ahead.
So Shivaji is back. Yeah.
Yeah. So say sometimes these connectivity issues say makes us apart.
Yes.
That tells us technology is technology at the end of the day.
Yeah, obviously that is.
So we have to all come physically to Silchar.
Yeah, and just what I missed to address is that the connectivity to Silchar. So Silchar, obviously, as you all know, there is an airport there. It has good connectivity with Kolkata and Guwahati, and from Delhi, Bangalore also through the same flight. You won't have to change it. That is so from South India, North India, and via Guwahati. So from the western part of the country also, and as well as through Kolkata. And from airport, it is basically, if you come early in the morning, it is 45 minutes from airport to the campus. And if you come in the daytime, it is 1.5 hours basically. So that is the simple thumb rule that we tell our guests. But that exactly is the timing that is required. In any way, welcome to NIT Silchar also. And through our websites and other places, you can see that is how we are moving on, and we have a center of excellence in NLP. So we have our team, our students who are working, and in the Northeast area, obviously we have a definite role to play, and so that in the regional icon organization, say in which place we'll be doing that, because Pushpak also, that is one part of his schooling, so he belongs to this region. He's not only past ACL president or one of our say the just senior kind of thing in the NLP domain. So obviously myself and Pushpak will be discussing together. That is how this Northeast part and the different institutes in the Northeast, so they can be brought to the NLP field basically. Thank you from my side.
Thank you, sir. As ICON 2020 is being held virtually, the participation certificates will be sent to the registered email IDs. We have now come to the conclusion of the main tracks of the 17th International Conference on Natural Language Processing 2020. I would like to conclude by thanking one and all for being here and wishing them the very best for their future endeavors. We will be having a workshop, tutorial, and share task scheduled tomorrow. Thank you.
Vishal, did you have anything to say? Because I think you had unmuted your mic and. Hello, Rajiv.
Hi, ma'am.
We can't hear you, Vishal. So if you're speaking, we can't hear you.
Wonderful experience to attend the conference virtually, because sometimes we are not able to come over here. And I have attended most of the sessions over here. So all the talks were wonderful. All the sessions were wonderful. So thank you very much. And definitely I'll try to come to NIT Silchar also. Thank you and congratulations to the full team. Dr. Pushpak, congratulations to you. Dr. Asif, congratulations to you. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you.
So thank you, everyone. Maybe we can end now. Asif and team probably need some rest because tomorrow is still another day.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Till the end,
Bye bye.
thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you all.